Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Old buddy Tim back with another video, and in this video we are going to look at seller paid rate buy downs, or what's called buying down mortgage points. And we're going to look at it from both sides, from the buyer and the seller, and I think we are going to look at how it might actually be a really good thing for sellers to do in order to entice buyers, and a great thing for buyers to ask for in order to buy down their interest rate. So that is the focus of this video. Before we get started, if you don't mind, as always, if you like what we do here on the channel and you'd like to see more content like this, just click that subscribe button wherever it is, click the little bell notification icon, give us a thumbs up, and that way you never miss another video. And again, as always, if you are looking to relocate here to North Alabama, or if you're already here and you would like the assistance of the fastest growing little brokerage in town, almost 90 agents now ready to go to work for folks just like you here in North Alabama, give us a call. Contact information is below. So let's get to the topic. What are seller paid rate buy downs? What does it mean to buy down mortgage points, and how is it beneficial to everyone? So before we dive in, let's talk a little bit about the market that is going on here in North Alabama. And if you watch these videos, you know this. For the last year and a half, it has been a seller's market here. We have way more buyers than we do inventory, thanks to all the folks relocating here from all over the country. And anytime there's an inventory shortage, demand goes up, prices go up, and the ability for some buyers to actually get a home goes down. It has not been unusual here to see homes with multiple offers one day on the market going way over asking price for cash. Well, things are changing. The market is slowing here. We're going into a slower time of the year. The interest rates, of course, are making everyone rethink what they're doing. They're having to either adjust the amount of house that they can buy, or they may have to just put their plans to purchase on hold. But there are things that you can do. So we are seeing the craziness settle. We are seeing homes sit on the market longer. We are seeing prices come down. And I think for the most part, this is due to interest rates. And the interest rates are really what we're going to be talking about in this video, because, you know, some sellers, they don't want to reduce price, even if the house has been sitting there for a while. And of course, some buyers are not going to pay top of the market price for houses. So what can a seller do to entice offers on the home? Well, you know, a lot of agents immediately think that you've got to reduce the price of the house to get a deal done. I am not convinced that reducing the price of the house is always the smartest move to make. I am a big fan of what we call seller contributions to the buyer's costs. Now, typically a seller concession just means this: a seller is willing to contribute an amount of cash at closing to the buyer's costs, and typically that money can be used for things like paying closing costs, covering any kind of funding fees, that sort of thing. It cannot go to the buyer's down payment, but it can be put forth on closing costs. Now, we're seeing that come back. When we were in the heavy sellers market, there was no way that a seller was going to contribute to buyer closing costs. Just no way. They didn't have to. They had 25 other buyers lined up ready to go. But before the market craziness, and where we're getting back to now, is we are seeing offers come in, number one, with a price reduction, number two, asking for the seller to contribute to closing costs. All right, and again, typically those closing costs go to title fees, lender fees, that sort of thing. I think it is a better idea, rather than asking for and giving money toward closing costs, if you take that money and actually buy down points. So what does buy down points mean? When you buy down a point, it means you are paying the lender a piece of money. You're paying the lender a percentage of the price. Typically, it's 1% of the sale price. So let's say on a $500,000 house, the buy down rate is going to be $4,500 to $5,000 per point. But what that does is a point is a point on your interest rate. So you can actually buy down the interest rate by buying down these points. So if you've got a 6% interest rate, it might be better to put money toward buying that down, buying the interest rate down to say 5.5, 5, somewhere in there, than actually getting money to go toward closing costs. And this is what I'm recommending that my buyers and sellers do, rather than, again, contributing to costs themselves. The whole idea for the seller paid rate buy down is to get money back from the seller that the buyer can put toward buying down those points, and that will reduce his interest rate over the life of the loan and typically save way, way more than you would get if you just asked for a concession or if you asked for a price reduction. And, you know, in a typical market like ours, again, we've had multiple offers on homes. We've had bidding wars. We've had such a frenzy in the market where the average home buyer just couldn't get an offer in the door, much less get it received. Well, again, things are changing. The market is calming down. It is still a seller's market to a degree, but things are really leveling out. So let's talk about how this works. You know, we're going to look at a scenario, and I've got my notes here that I'm looking at, of course, but we're going to look at a scenario with the numbers and see exactly how this works, rather than conceding money for closing or reducing the price. The buyer and seller actually come out better if there is a buy down of points. So I'm going to post a graphic up here on the screen, and I've got my notes. I want to kind of walk through. What this is a sample of a loan comparison showing options for purchasing a $500,000 home with a 30-year fixed mortgage at a 5.5% interest rate. So if you look at the first column there, the market rate and price, $500,000. They're putting down 5% or 25 grand. The loan amount is $475, and the interest rate's 5.5 for a 360-month loan. They've got to bring $32,267 to closing, and their monthly payment is going to be just north of $3,100. All right. Now, let's look at it from another point there. The second column is the seller offering a $20,000 price reduction. So rather than $500,000, the house is going to cost $480,000. Well, if you look at that, the down payment 5%, the loan amount $456,000, again 5.5% interest rate. Just on a price reduction alone, at that interest rate, it is going to lower the monthly payment by what, $125. So instead of $3,142, the buyer would be paying just north of $3,000. Now that's if the seller reduces the price 20 grand and offers no assistance. So let's look at what happens if, rather than reducing the house of the price $20,000, the buyer asks the seller to contribute to closing costs for the purpose of buying down points. So you'll see the third column, $500,000 home, 5% down payment, $475 loan amount. If the seller contributes $9,500 to the buy down of points, well, that drops the interest rate from 5.5 down to 5. And you wouldn't think that makes much difference, but it does. If you look at that, the monthly payment goes from $3,142 down to $2,995. All right, that is a monthly savings of almost $150. It cost the seller $9,500 in closing cost contributions, but he didn't drop the price $20,000. So the seller is actually about $11,000 to the good, and the buyer is getting a mortgage that's $150 a month less. Now you multiply that 150 times the life of the loan, 360 months, and it comes out to be a lot. In fact, let's do that. All right, so 360 months, and we are saving, what did I say, $147 a month. That is $52,000 that the seller or the buyer is saving by doing the rate buy down. $52,920 in interest fees. So rather than getting a $20,000 reduction on the price of the home, if they took $9,500, applied it to a buy down of points, it's going to save them $52,000 over the life of the loan. That's a huge savings, guys. It really is. So something to consider. So, you know, you might save a little bit of money up front with a discount on the price, but in the long run, taking that money and applying it to buying down points is actually the better deal for everybody involved. If you look at that graphic again, it's a great deal for the seller, because he's not knocking $20,000 off the price. He is contributing $9,500, but that leaves him to the good by about $11,000, right? It's also a good thing for the buyer, because even though they're paying full retail at $500,000, they are buying down the interest rate on the loan, and over the life of that loan, saving over $50,000. All right. So what does that mean if you are a seller? Well, with the current state of our market, things are not selling as quickly. They're not selling for as much money. We're seeing days on market increase, which is just freaking everybody out. So if you are a seller, rather than reducing the price, think about offering to contribute money to the buyer that they can use then to buy down points and save money. So if you're a seller, you actually come out better by buying down a couple of points than you would if you reduce the price of the house. All right. If you're a buyer, you actually come out better in the long run, because number one, you are going to save thousands and thousands of dollars in interest. You're also going to save on your monthly payment. All right. So what I am advising my clients is this: if we get in that situation, it is better to ask for money that can be used to buy down those points with the lender than actually, paying for closing costs and title scale. Because when you buy down points, you enjoy the benefit of that buy down over the entire life of the loan, not just up front at closing. All right. So, think about this: if you're a seller, offering below market interest rates for the property will entice more buyers, because that's the number one concern on behalf of buyers now. It saves the seller money up front over doing a big discount or offering bonuses or allowances. It saves the buyer money in the long run with lower payments, lower interest rate, which means less interest paid, and it helps the homes in the home value in the market as well, because you're not discounting those prices. So there you go, guys. That is something I wanted to just do a quick video on, because what I'm seeing here in North Alabama, as we are seeing all around the country now, is interest rates are affecting everyone, buyer and seller. And if there's something the buyer and seller can do to come together and do a deal and get it done, by all means, that is something that I would recommend to all of my clients, to all of my agents, and of course to you as well. So, hey guys, I hope you found that helpful. Again, if you like what we do here on the channel, do me a favor, click the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, click the little bell. And if you are looking to relocate, if you are looking to relocate here to North Alabama, don't forget, we have Revolved Realty, almost 90 agents now on the ground, ready to go to work for you. And there is not a day goes by that I don't hear from folks on the YouTube channel who are looking to relocate here. And we would love to help you in your home search. And if you're already here and you would like to talk to us about listing your home, we have a lot of listings right now. Be more than happy to come out and chat with you and talk about how we can put more money in your pocket at closing, which is what it's all about, right? All right, guys, hope that was helpful. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you got any questions or comments, drop them below. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next video.